friends, welcome to Crank It Up Podcast, the YouTube home of bringing games. I'm Jim Price, and for today's video, I want to do another art-based story, focusing this time on the Chemists. I have some very specific goals for this video, but in case I haven't said it before, it's important to understand how I feel about Erudia. To use a cliche, this is my life's work. Not just because I spent half a decade working on it, but because it would take at least a decade after this to release all the content I have planned. I absolutely love this game system, and I want you to as well, but more importantly, I want it to feel like a system that is truly loved and appreciated by its creator in every aspect. That every aspect feels like a labor of love from the creator who knows it inside and out, and I hope that the Chemist art direction is a reflection of that. There are a lot of background things that go into making a class beyond its mechanics. Why is the class there, fighting in this war? What are their names, the art direction? For the Chemists, this is particularly challenging because it's not always a well-recognized class, whereas I could easily find 1,000 images or wizards or knights in an instant. I could do an entire video alone on the battle garb of the Chemists, but instead I'll be focusing on other aspects. Still, I'll say this about the Chemist attire. I wanted to show off a diversity of non-armor outfits. These aren't soldiers, but a collection of some of the best minds of all over Erudia, so I wanted the art to depict everyday people rising to the occasion. One of the most important aspects of a class is what I call artistic accuracy. How well does the art reflect its mechanics? This can be really challenging, especially doing so in a timely fashion because art can take time to produce, and so does playtesting, and you need to align abilities to art which carries risk. But I think that this is really important for a number of factors. First, it helps tell the story and build the world. But more importantly, I think it helps teach the class to new players while also affirming the cohesion of the class for me. It's best to see this in action. Let's use Catch Potion as an example. Catch Potion depicts Avogadro throwing a potion to Elion. Avogadro's ability is that he is really good at playing items. Elion is really good at copying them. This action simulates Elion's ability and uses art to reinforce that, almost like a game plan. Catch Potion is played on another unit where Elion is. Avogadro is played to use an item that Elion can copy, that Catch Potion can copy, that Elion can copy again. It's a very powerful play, and it makes sense that these would be the characters depicted in the art. Now, it isn't always possible to show multiple characters and actions, but when it makes sense to do so, it really ties the class together. When you consider the other acolytes, there is strong cohesion with their actions. Dalton is featured on Water on Acid, which gets more powerful the more ingredients you play, while those ingredients take up space in your hand, which Dalton increases. Additionally, he can play an ingredient specifically, which ties into Water on Acid. Scientific Method features Hodgkin, who is known for recurring reusables, but Scientific Method takes it one step further. Finally, there is Chain Reaction, which features Maynard. Chain Reaction plays all your ingredients, some of which are reusables, which Maynard makes more efficient when they are all played on her. I hope that these examples serve as an indication of a sanity test that I've been using for classes. If acolytes are the heart of a class, and I can't find an acolyte who makes sense to feature on that action, do I really have the right action? I think the Chemists are one of the best examples we have of artistic accuracy, something I take very seriously, which explains the insane thing I'm about to explain next. From the very beginning, the idea of pairs of two ingredients combining for a new effect was always there for the Chemists, but there used to be specific ingredients like Griffin's blood or eagle feathers or random stuff. This is a mechanical issue because it meant too many card dependencies, so those combination cards were consolidated into a single Water on Acid. And to make it easier to remember what each one was, they were renamed ingredients A, B, C, and D, with the wild ingredient in the secondary being W. But these would be terrible names in production, but using obtuse names would make it hard to remember what they did with Water on Acid. So prior to commissioning art for the items, I went through several rounds of naming schemes to find something that was easy to remember and hopefully clever. First, I wanted to solve the problem that the Chemists had 9 items and it would be easy to confuse them, so I wanted each one to have a unique appearance and color. If it was a reusable item, I wanted it to look like a drinkable potion. If it wasn't, it would look like something else. And if it was an ingredient, I wanted a means of separating them from non-ingredients. How would all of this be possible? The answer was to look at the chemical elements for the primary ingredients and compounds for everything else. After extensive research that probably has the FBI watching me, I came up with a suite of substances that actually fit all these parameters and hopefully made sense with the abilities. We even got to use colors that the materials take in one natural form or another. Astatine has a really short half-life, which is perfect for describing temporary power. Bismuth looks like a rainbow crystal. With bismuth drawing cards, it reminded me of all the card types it could draw, which are distinguishable by their colors. Cesium has tons of isotopes, but only one of them is stable, aligning with its abilities to produce tokens of any type, since cesium itself can be quite harmful. And dysprosium is prone to exploding apparently, which aligns well with ingredient D's water on acid ability. And with the secondary ingredient offering limited protection, epinephrine seemed like such a natural fit, and it worked out perfectly because of its color. Regarding the other items, you can never have enough Molotov cocktails, and toluene turned out to be purple, which is really perfect. Nitrite is a preservative which lends itself naturally to the idea of preserving a unit. Hypochlorite is an ingredient used in bleaching, which is really funny given what hypochlorite does. The science behind inotrope is probably the most complicated, and I won't attempt to explain the difference between positive and negative inotropes because I'm not sure I understand it myself, but I'm confident that one of the two is the right answer for what I was going for. As a result, we have an array of colors with easy to remember names, with names that align well with the abilities, and we get to have the ingredients in alphabetical order. It was a ton of research and effort, but it honestly appreciation for this class that I love so dearly, and I hope it does the same for you as well. So that's the story behind the chemist art and why art accuracy matters to me. What's your favorite chemist illustration? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let's shut it down.